this episode to talk about running backs, and we're going to rank running backs. We're going to go 1 through 10 and talk about each of them briefly, and then quickly round it out to 20. We're going to talk about a sleeper. We're going to talk about a bust, each of us. But before we get started, we want to first say thank you to everybody who watched our first initial episode. We had over 90 hits so far, and it was a lot more successful than we ever thought. And we had one very special person email us and let us know they saw it. Who was that?
The Mastermind.
The Mastermind. Mike Nazarick of ffmastermind.com. He watched it, told us he thought it was great. He actually sent you a present in the mail, didn't he?
Yep. He brought me this shirt so I can now wear it on the show.
That's right. It says Fantasy Football Mastermind right on it from Naz himself. So say thank you to Naz.
Thank you, Naz.
All right. Let's get started and talk about running backs. You ready?
Okay.
All right. You got the first overall pick in the draft. Who you taking number 1?
Well, it's an easy question. It's Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson.
Yep.
Adrian Peterson.
Yep.
All right. Why is that?
Well, it's not just he's a stud. It's because his O-line is just beast. They create holes that you can drive a truck through. So he can take it right down the middle, and it's just open space just to walk right down the field and get a touchdown.
I think you're going to see that a lot out of Adrian Peterson this year. Well, second pick, I'm taking that little guy down there in Jacksonville, America's team, the Jaguars. Maurice Jones-Drew. Fred Taylor's gone. He's up there with Bill Belichick up in New England. He's the feature back for the Jacksonville offense. And this little guy's going to be targeted a lot for short passes by Garrard. And they're going to have an improved line this year because they took the first and second round draft pick and drafted a left tackle and a right tackle to solidify that line. That little guy is going to put up big numbers this year. So Maurice Jones-Drew 2. Who we going 3?
Well, we're going to Matt Forte. Because now they got Jay Cutler up in Chicago. That's going to open up the passing game, and even Jay Cutler's going to target him for some passing yards. Plus some. But actually, in week 15 to 16, in the playoff time, you guys are going to have to play against the Ravens and the Vikings.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Ravens D during the playoffs?
Yep.
Something to think about.
Yeah, one of the 2 top rushing stopping defenses in the NFL. But he was a stud last year, making 1,238 rushing yards.
Yep, Matt Forte. He will be a stud for you this year. Number 4, moving on, Michael Turner, Atlanta Falcons. He exploded on the scene last year after coming over from San Diego. He scored 17 touchdowns last year, and their passing game is going to be improved. Matt Ryan is now no longer a rookie. They got Tony Gonzalez at the tight end from Kansas City. That's going to open up the running game for Michael Turner even more this year. So with that 4 slot, you got to put Michael Turner up there. 5th, who do you got in 5th?
LT.
LT, LaDainian Tomlinson. Why is that?
Well, he's healthy this year, hopefully, even though he had a couple injuries last year. But he's still LT, he's still a stud. Hopefully you can get him in his heyday like a couple years ago after all them injuries. But he's healthy now, and hopefully he can be the same old LT.
Yeah, he scored 12 touchdowns last year, and people said he had a bad year. I'll take it. Moving on to number 6. I love this kid. Chris Johnson, Tennessee Titans. He was the only running back last year, and it was in the playoffs, that ran all over our Ravens defense. There was only one way the Ravens could stop him. How'd they stop him?
They had to hurt him.
Had to hurt him, get him off the field, and get fat boy Lendell White out there, because then they couldn't run the ball. But as a rookie last year, 10 touchdowns on 251 carries. He didn't even play week 16 because the Titans had home field advantage already wrapped up. And look for big numbers this year from Chris Johnson in our 6th spot. Moving on to 7, who we have?
We get Steven Jackson.
Okay, Steven Jackson. What's up with him?
Well, their whole team had a lot of injuries on their offense because their O-line was just bad.
Bad?
Yes, terrible.
Terrible. It's better this year, though, right?
They picked up a left tackle and our Ravens center.
Jason Brown. Okay, buddy, you're in St. Louis now. That's all right. We got Matt Burke, so that's all right. But The O-line will be improved, right?
Yes. But he's healthy this year, and hopefully he can be a stud.
Okay, that's Steven Jackson in the 7th spot. 8th position, D'Angelo Williams, Carolina Panthers. He absolutely went off last year. 20 touchdowns, and that was splitting carries with Jonathan Stewart. Look for pretty much the same thing out of Carolina this year. They're going to depend on that running game. D'Angelo Williams is going to get his touches, and if you can get close to what he put up last year, he's going to do good for you. I like this number 9 pick. Who's that?
Steve Slayton.
Steve Slayton, West Virginia boy.
Yep.
All right, tell everyone why you like Steve Slayton.
Well, he's Houston's number 1 back. He's going to get all the touches. He's going to get all the goal line chances since
Why is that?
They haven't picked up anyone to get that chance.
That's right. They didn't draft anybody.
No.
So he's getting all the touches down at the goal line, too.
Yep.
So Steve Slayton, 9. We thought long and hard about number 10. Well, Clinton Portis, Washington Redskins, and I'll tell you why. Now, Daniel Snyder, he had a little extra money in his pocket. How'd you like to sign a contract for $100 million?
I would love that.
You would love that. Keep working hard, buddy. But they spent $100 million to solidify a defensive line last year that offenses ran the ball down their throat, which means they were on the field a lot, which limited Clinton Portis' time that he actually spent on the field. Now with having Albert Hainsworth and a better defense, Clinton Portis looks to be getting more touches. Even despite that, last year he put up 9 touchdowns and 1,487 yards. Look for Clinton Portis to improve on that this year. So that puts us through 10. You ready to roll through 11 through 20?
Yep.
Okay, get her started. Who's number 11?
Number 11, Brian Westbrook from Philly.
Number 12, Frank Gore, San Francisco 49ers.
Number 13, Brandon Jacobs from your New York Football Giants.
Number 14, the guy that runs the ball up there in Green Bay, Ryan Grant.
Number 15, Kevin Smith from the Detroit Kitty Cat.
The Detroit Kitty Cats. Are they going to be Kitty Cats again, or are they going to be Lions?
I don't know. I think they're going to be a Kitty Cat.
Me too. 2 wins?
No, 1.
1.
1 or 0.
Okay, he says 1, I say 2. But they'll be improved, right? Number 16, from what supposedly is America's team, Marion Barber.
Number 17, Ronnie Brown.
Number 18, Larry Johnson.
Number 19, Marshawn Lynch, T.O.'s teammate up in Buffalo.
Yeah, good luck with that, Marshawn. By the way, he is suspended the first 3 weeks of the season. Remember that. And rounding out, number 20, the only rookie that we have, but look out for this kid from the Denver. We've had problems in the all-season Broncos. No Sean Moreno, number 20. So there you go. Better have at least 2 of them, right?
Yep.
Now keep in mind, in fantasy football, if you have 10 teams and you're putting 4 running backs on a roster, that means you're going 40 deep and even deeper in 12-team leagues. So you better at least have a couple of these studs and get them in the first couple rounds.
Yep.
What do you do starting tomorrow?
Play some football.
Football practice. All right. What position you play?
Offensive guard and defense.
Offensive guard, and last year you were a defensive nose tackle. We'll see this year where they put you.
Yep.
All right, that brings us to the end. Thank you very much for watching, and I am Mark Benda, and this is my partner,
Little Benda.
and we will see you next time when we discuss quarterbacks on Father and Son Fantasy Football Masterminds.